Good morning, this is Nick Augustine here with Mark Scroggins. We're at Scroggins Law Group in the Frisco office, and it is the second week in January. And Mark, you know what I saw this week?
What's that?
The search engine traffic for the keyword divorce lawyer spikes, and it's at its highest the second week in January. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy what happens. I mean, so you typically get two big spikes, but this one by far is the biggest. Right when the school year begins, and right when the kids go back to school after the holidays. And my personal theory is that it's like people try to get through the holidays, and it's like, I'm going to give it one more shot, get through the holidays, and then they decide, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. And, it kind of is, like that old thing. If you keep doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result, you're nuts.
Well, it's insanity.
Yeah, exactly. So that has been my experience, is people get through that, and it's kind of like, okay, kids are back in school, it's time to actually do something. I don't want to do this again. If you start early enough, you have a chance of actually getting things done by the end of summer, depending on what the issues are. Obviously, if you've got a big nasty child custody case, that's going to be pressing it to be able to get it done that quickly, depending on if an amicus is appointed or a child custody eval is going to be done, how much discovery has to be done, what ancillary sources there are. So, but yeah, this is the time, if you are trying to get it done so everything is handled by the time the kids start school next year, this is the time to do it.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me mention one other thing. Exciting stuff. So as you know, we're getting ready to move our Dallas office. So we have signed a lease, and the build out is beginning on the new space in Energy Square, which is better to serve our clients in the Park Cities and East Dallas, Lake Highlands, Lakewood, the M Streets, that whole area, which we have a pretty healthy group of. But much bigger space that is all being redone. It's going to look very similar to what our Frisco office is. So just wanted to put that out there. That's basically at Lovers and Central. So very exciting. So our main offices will be Frisco, and then our Dallas office will maintain our Plano office as well.
What I want to know is there going to be underground parking at the new place?
There will be.
All right. Well, see, there you go.
Or actually, let me rephrase that. There is garage parking,
covered,
but it is above ground. Yes.
As long as when it's raining or sunny. I mean, any minor weather fluctuation, and we don't function well.
That's right. We wouldn't want your hair to get messed up.
That's exactly right.
Exactly. I relate. I'm vain like that.
Right. All right. So let's cut that one.
Okay.
Let's just go on to the next one. All right. Mark, how do you really know that you're ready to file a divorce when you're saying, when we talked about maybe things have come to a head, but one of the other factors that the holidays kind of stirs up is there's a lot of people in your ear, and maybe relatives, friends, and family who are going through their own experience, and maybe you listen to them and start really realizing and having a kind of Jesus moment about your own life.
Yeah, so here's the thing. Look, the decision to get a divorce or to file a modification is personal, okay? It's nobody's business but yours. If you want to take the advice of family and friends, that's up to you, but I would strongly advise that you want to keep your own counsel on that, okay? Because nobody knows all the facts about your particular relationship aside from you and your spouse, okay? So how do you know if you're ready? Everybody's different. Some people know, and it's just like that. Some people, really need to do all the what ifs and go through counseling and, individual counseling, couples counseling, and basically make sure that every stone goes unturned or does not go unturned, so that they can make so that they can feel good knowing that there are not any what ifs out there. Okay, it's like, I have done everything I can to try to make this damn thing work. It doesn't, and so it's time for me to do something else. Okay, so it really all depends on the individual. The biggest thing, I think, is kind of a common sense. Are you making a knee-jerk reaction? Okay, did you and your spouse just have some huge blowout? And I'm not talking about where there was physical violence. Okay, that's a different story, obviously. if physical violence happens, get on the phone and call a lawyer, you know, whether it's us or somebody else, do that immediately, okay? But if y'all just had a big knockdown, drag out, horrible blowout, don't make the decision right then. At least sleep on it, you know, because divorces are difficult, okay? The emotions are running high, very high, you know, when you're talking about kid issues, when you're talking about the division of the marital estate. But to really be able to make a rational decision, you've got to try to step back a little bit and remove the emotions from it to a certain degree. It's not possible to completely remove the, you know, emotions unless you're, you know, there's some mental health issues involved.
Well, I mean, that could happen, and it could be the other side. And,
Yeah.
it almost sounds like going and talking to someone, you know, to like that person, like the getting ready for, like Aunt Becky's getting ready for prison, and she hired a prison coach.
Right.
You know, like if you're getting ready for a divorce that you know is going to be contentious, it's going to be a real bear. There's going to be a lot of issues.
Right.
Both are going to want to seek custody and be the primary parent. You might want to just get that, like, all right, do we know what we're up against? Are you ready to handle this? You sure you want to? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?
Right.
And
well, and a lawyer can help you through that, because I mean, most people don't have any idea what's truly involved.
Right.
You know, and you know, if you're dealing with child custody matters, you know, if it's not a walkover, okay, if y'all don't have an agreement, A, it's emotionally taxing, B, it's really expensive. You know, but you get what you pay for on that too. So you don't want to go into any litigation, be it family law litigation or anything else, without being very, very well prepared and understanding what's involved. And so I think that's where it really behooves you to hire the best lawyer you can. My strong suggestion is hire someone or a firm that is headed by, you know, board certified lawyers that can walk you through the process, you know, that don't just dabble in family law, but this is what they do, which is, you know, what we do. So
to the people who ask you, Mark, what do I do when I've got, you know, I've got one kid still in school.
Right.
She's 16 and she's gonna be 18 in a couple of years. Maybe I should just take this out. It's gonna be a whole lot easier if I do.
you know, kids aren't stupid. All right. I mean, they understand what's going on. I mean, if they, especially 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old kids, you know, they can see if there's tension between mom and dad. You know, if there's very little interaction with the exception of the kids and everything's frosty and all that, they've got an idea of going, or of knowing what the hell's going on there. So I think there are two different ways to think about it. A lot of these people think that, oh, well, we'll just stay together until the kids go off to school. Well, you know, is that really doing any kind of service to the kids? Because now it's the first time the kids are out there on their own, and all of a sudden you're pulling out the safety blanket and saying mom and dad are getting divorced.
Yeah.
My personal belief, and I don't have, you know, I'm not a psychologist, psychiatrist, anything like that, and I haven't tried to do any research into that to back up what I'm about to say. So take that with for what it's worth. My personal belief is if you're going to go through that, and I've been through it personally, my daughter was significantly younger than that when we did, but I think it's better when they're going to have more access to mom and dad and counseling if that's necessary to be able to process everything and get their feet under them.
Sure.
Okay. Now there are a lot of different moving parts with that. Another thing that kind of dovetails into is, well, should I stay in the house, you know, because this is the only house the kids have known, and you know, so I don't want to upset the apple cart.
Yeah, that's...
You know, that's hard. I mean, sometimes that's an easy decision because money's not an issue, okay? And so if money's not an issue, yeah, absolutely, stay in the same place, okay? Move after, okay? If money's an issue, guess what? Kids are resilient, okay? They're going to be fine on that, okay? So there are a bunch of different moving parts on that, but I mean, trying to figure all that crap out on your own is a huge mistake because you don't know. And guess what? Uncle Google doesn't have all the right answers either.
Does it?
No. So
no.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I've heard, well, you know, I looked up on Google, so I know that. And it's like, yeah, that's not the law in Texas.
I saw it on Reddit.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, so that's not always the law in Texas. And that's why it's really important to, you know, come in and talk to somebody that can tell you, yes, no, here's what you're looking at, here's what the time frame is, here's what you can expect monetarily based on these different phases and what happens. So,
Okay, good information.
we're here to help.
Mark, my next question is, if I'm getting divorced and it's going to be a custody battle, are there different options and different possession schedules that might work?
Sure. Yes. So the presumption in Texas is that the non-primary parent, okay, or the non-possessory parent, which when I say non-primary, all that is referring to is one of the rights and duties that a parent has, is one parent typically is going to be given the exclusive right to designate the quote-unquote primary residence of the children, okay? So when I say non-primary, I'm talking about the other one. So that means that the person who has the kids less, okay? So the presumption in Texas is that the non-primary parent should have at least what is called a standard possession order. That's what everybody is probably the most familiar with, okay?
A lot of people have it.
Yeah, every first, third, and fifth weekend, Thursday, it can be expanded or it can be regular, which changes the time of the exchange. An expanded standard, Thursday is overnight instead of just 6 to 8 p.m. Instead of returning to school or returning the kid to the other parent on Sunday at 6, you return to school when school resumes the following Monday, or if there's a school holiday that Tuesday. Now, there can be a bunch of others, okay?
It's a lot to remember.
Right, and so what you hear more now is, let's say that both parents have been really involved in the caretaking of the kids. So we're in a situation where there's a 50-50 possession schedule, okay? 50-50 possession schedule does not always mean week on, week off, okay? There are a lot of different ways to do this. Week on, week off, I think is really, it's best for older kids, okay? Because the other options, the kids are moving around an awful lot, and they just, my experience is, as they get older, they don't like it. It can be really good for younger kids because you don't go for a significant period of time without either parent or child seeing each other. So let's talk about a couple of those. You've got generally what is referred to as a 223, or a 252 and a 223, okay? So you can have one where, say, one parent gets Monday, Tuesday, the other gets Wednesday, Thursday, and that's every week, okay? And then you've just got alternating weekends, okay? So 2 days of possession for one, 5 days for the other, 2 days for the other, okay? And you see how that changes, just alternating the weekends. Now, a true 223, everything's revolving. So 1 week, dad's got Monday, Tuesday, mom's got Wednesday, Thursday, then dad's got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, then mom's got Monday, Tuesday, dad's got Wednesday, Thursday, then mom's got Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
That's really pretty, yeah.
So it is, and it's great with younger kids, okay, because they're going back and forth. But generally, in my experience, once kids get to be school age, I think it's problematic because it starts getting confusing for the kids. Where am I today? You know, so at least if it's static, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, the kids know. And then they just know, well, was I with mom or dad last weekend? Because I'm going to be with the other.
Right.
Okay. And then you can have holiday schedules that are akin to a standard possession order that are alternating and things like that. Here's something else that happens. I don't see it happen as much in Texas as you will see it happen other places. It is really interesting in theory. Practical application, I think, is a bit of a problem, and that is generally what is called nesting.
I knew you were going to bring it
Okay,
nesting thing.
So, for those that aren't familiar with nesting, nesting is where the kids don't move, the parents move. Okay, and the parents are the ones going back and forth between the house, which sounds really good, right? Because the kids are not subjected.
They have one bedroom.
Right, and they're not subjected to this upheaval, okay?
Yeah.
The problem is that generally there is such a level of distrust and acrimony between the parties during a divorce that the parties don't trust that the other is not getting into their stuff. It can
lock the bedroom doors. Each get their own bedroom.
Well, I mean, that's one way you can do it. I've seen people where it's just, you know, hey, when I'm not here, you stay here. When you're not there, I stay there. And so it can lend to people feeling violated because of being into each other's stuff.
I'm seeing the camera and recording device problem that we talked about with John Withers last time.
Well, you can definitely have that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it does not, it takes a special type of situation to make that work. I have not seen that work successfully very often. You know, generally, if there's that level of trust, you're not getting a divorce. So, but it's an interesting, like I said, it's great in theory. I think the practical application of it's really hard.
So you've explored some options here where,
Right.
you know, we have different things that the kids at different ages. In the younger ages, one of the things that we always hear is that there's certain ages before age 7 are so very important to their development,
Right.
you know, as to who they are as people. So let's say that you have an agreement and you're going to find a way to do that at that point, and then you want to change it. How difficult is it to go and change it with a modification? Like,
Well, it depends.
can that be like hey, we're going to reserve and revisit this later?
No. Okay, so
Some people
so
don't like that.
yeah, so you've got a final order, and final order is the final order,
Right,
whether it's a
that's it.
decree or it's a suit-effective parent-child relationship or whatever. Okay, can you come back and modify? Yeah, absolutely. If you can show, you know, that the kids are, if they continue in their current living environment, they're going to suffer significant impairment emotionally or physically. You know, you can modify the day after the order's signed, you know, or file something about that. Otherwise, you know, generally over a year, it's a different standard, which is material and substantial change in circumstances. And so if something does not work for those kids, like what we were talking about with the possession schedule, okay, hey, doing a 2-2-3 doesn't really work anymore because the kids don't know where the hell they're going to be, and now they've got extracurriculars. And so, do I have Johnny's football outfit at my place? Does it have to track? It's confusing. Okay, so that's pretty easy. Okay, not working for the kids anymore. If it's something where, let's say, one party was given, so all these rights and duties that you get along with conservatorship, okay, and things like making psychological or psychiatric decisions for the kids. Well, let's say that you've got behavioral issues with one of the kids, and one parent has been given the exclusive right to make those decisions, and they say, well, I don't see any problem at all. And the other side is saying, oh my gosh, there's this huge problem, and this child needs help, and this, that, and the other. So what do? Well, you can file a modification and seek to do that. Now, what I would suggest is you need to make sure that that is something that actually needs to be done, because it's, you know, is that something that was anticipated? Were there behavioral issues prior to? You know, so once again, a lot of moving parts. So the good news is if you really need to modify, there is a basis to do it, and you can do it, and it happens all the time. Okay, the legislature was very smart in understanding that, you know, what happened in 1982 was not necessarily going to be what works in 1990 and 1993. Okay, you know, and I think I just dated myself a lot there. But anyway,
I was still in high school in 1993.
God, I just graduated from law school in '92. So anyway, that's the point. Okay, but it's not something to be taken lightly. You know, it's not some bullshit way to go in and mess with someone. I mean, so that is, I think that really irritates judges. I wish judges would get more proactive in hammering people with attorney's fees over that kind of stuff, where you can tell that it's just, you know, trying to gain some control, trying to, you know, get a monetary advantage or something. So, but unfortunately, I haven't seen a lot of courts that are willing to do that as much. But you know, hopefully that will be something that will change more. But it is absolutely a tool that is there to be used, and we do it all the time, and there are lots of good reasons to do it. What I would say is, you know, like we were talking about before, don't make a knee-jerk decision to get divorced. Don't make a knee-jerk decision to go in and modify. You know, look at it. What is the emotional cost to you? What's the emotional cost to the kids? What's the financial cost to you? You know, so those are all different things that you need to look at and make sure that you're in a position financially, emotionally, to be able to take this on. Now, sometimes there are emergency situations where you don't really have a choice. You just got to back up and find a way to do it. You know, so that's a whole different scenario and a conversation for another day.
All right, well, we'll have that another time.
Sounds good.
All right. Okay, well, Mark, we talked about the beginning of January, why people are getting divorced. How do you know when it's time to actually pull the trigger? Some
Right.
different custody options. So when we know what we're going to do, how do we find the best lawyer, and how do you know who's a good fit? There's a lot of law firms out there. What do you look
Sure.
for?
What's most important is making sure that it's somebody that you are comfortable with. It's not someone you necessarily have to be best buddies with by any stretch of the imagination, but needs to be someone that you feel comfortable with, that you know that they know their stuff. So there are a number of different places to look at. You know, is the lawyer board certified in family law? That's a real good place to start. You know, have they got skins on the wall, so to speak, with you know, super lawyers or best lawyers or things like that. You know, what do you know, check out their website. You know, do they have blogs and video blogs that you can take a look at, where you can, you know, hear what they're talking about and have an understanding kind of what their tack is, how they come across.
Yeah.
And then, you know, go and talk to someone, and do you feel comfortable? And that's kind of a hard thing to say, but do you trust the person? That's probably the better way to say it. Did you get the information that you saw? Did they lay everything out and lay it out clearly as to, here's what the process looks like, here's what you can expect, here's what, you know, the possibilities are as far as cost, here's what can throw those off, you know, and here's what the services are that are being provided, and here are the other things that we can provide to assist you through the process.
The way that I see it, restructuring your family and your life is like building a house. You don't want to have to rip it down and do it again. Get the best you can and get it done right the first time.
Well, that's exactly right. I mean, you know, what happens when you try to save money on a home repair? You have to have it done again.
Yeah, you're gambling.
That's right. It's like, you know, if you have a house and you find out that you've got foundation repair, are you making a decision purely on who's cheapest? I would hope the answer is no. Well, it's the same thing in family law, and look at it like a 401k. Okay, are you trying to invest in what you think is going to help you in the long run, or are you trying to make a short call? I mean, so
You're reminding me of that commercial where the doctor comes in, where they're like, "Oh, he's just okay.
Yeah.
He's pretty good." You know,
Yeah.
"Hey, doctor, you ready for it? I'm a little nervous." So am I.
Right. Yeah.
You don't want that.
Well, and so here's the other problem. Okay, let's say that you hire someone, frankly, that's not very good,
Yeah.
dabbles,
Right.
you know, or just doesn't.
There's a friend of a friend who works in an office and does some family law.
Right.
Yeah.
The problem is, if someone doesn't know what the hell they're doing, or they're just not very good, you know, then what happens an awful lot of the time is you are searching for another lawyer who then has to come in and undo what has been done.
Yeah.
And so you're going to spend more money than you ever did.
Yeah.
You ever were. I mean, so yeah, it's a mess. So the point is, talk to as many people as you feel you need to, but trust your gut. Trust your gut, you know, and see what the skins are on the wall. See what other people say, you know, and ask all the questions that you need to ask. And if you don't feel like you're getting the answers you want, walk until you find the best person that suits you.
Good advice. There
We
you
try.
go. All right. Well, for all the folks at home listening or viewing or finding us, please do share this stuff, because we know that people don't walk around with that sandwich board that says, "I might file for divorce this month."
Right.
We just don't know, and we want people to find the best lawyers they can find and get the best, because really you are restructuring and reorganizing your family, and you only get one shot to do it right. You know, I see people who've come out of divorce and family law and, you know, a situation to custody things where everyone seems to get along and they're both there at graduation pictures, or they're launching missiles at each other from across the parking lot.
Yeah.
And that's not good for your kids long term.
No, it's horrible.
Yeah.
It's horrible for the kids. I mean, so, you know, get the best lawyer that you can, do the right amount of research, go check out their website, check out super lawyers, watch their videos, read their blogs, you know, and then interview them,
Yeah.
you know, and ask the questions that you need to, and, you know, and try to make the best decision you can, and then go with it.
All right. Well, everyone have a happy January. This is Nick and Mark here at Scroggins Law Group in Frisco.
Right. If you need to get a hold of me, you can always call our main office for both Frisco and Dallas, 214-469-3100, or you can just email me, mark@scrogginslawgroup.com.
Easy enough.
All right. Thank you, Nick.
Thanks, y'all.